And we're live. How's it going, everybody? What's happening? Glad to be back. It's been a while. Vacation time. A lot of things going on. Time. So glad to be back. Good to see you. Good to be back. Feels good. Today we're going to talk about the path of ascension. Um, and just kind of focus it around the similar topics that I usually talk about each time. Welcome everybody. Sunday spiritual session. Um, Let me get comfy here. Did I have water? I think I had water somewhere. That's okay. We'll save it for later. But yeah, I don't have too much to talk about today, actually, off bat. But I wanted to get back on and say what's up to everybody and wish everybody, happy blessings of moving forward, because that's what's happening. A lot of people are moving forward, and I just ran into a crazy situation with a parking spot outside with my neighbors. So just let me shake it off for a second. It was really exciting. Don't park in the wrong spot, that was so. Besides that, anyways, um, a little jittery still. Trying to calm down. Um, oh, there's messages. I got about an hour. We got family coming over, dinner time, all this good stuff. So hope all you guys are doing good out there. But really, all I really want to do from this point on is talk smack. So I'll just put that out there right off the bat. It's just kind of like what I've been doing this whole time. I want to do it in a positive way, and I want all of us to realize, how powerful we are and what we're actually doing, and be aware of what we're creating and all of these things. But a lot of things, it's like the spiritual path, the spiritual community. This time we're going to talk about the path of ascension, and that realization that it's just up to you. It's up to like a lot of times we feel like, oh, we have family here, family there, we're supposed to do this, supposed to do that. But sometimes, that was just the where you incarnated into the family lines, the DNA and the things, and the help and all the transmutation and all the higher vibration, all this stuff has everything to do with you and your DNA and your vibration, and it moves forward and it moves backwards in time. So us being here, you being there is extremely important, beyond what it might seem like on the surface. So um, this is why all of the internal arts and practices and whatnot are important to do. This is why you cannot change others, but you can change yourself. This is why there's all these things, and they're like fail safes. They're it's the way it works, in the universe and whatnot. So literally, the whole concept, selfishness, selfless, no, there's greed for sure. People got a lot of money and they don't need all that money, but there's, in a world full of abundance, we would all have that level of abundance. So it's really only greed when it's taking from others, when it's causing lack for others. So there's all these words and there's all these things, and when it comes to the seven deadly sins and all this and that, right? That's it all in the Bible, isn't it? In the Christian Bible, right? I mean, and that's only 2,000 years old. So it's like there's been beings that have been here on this planet, that have been a part of this planet, that have seeded this planet, that have been here for such a long time, before anything that we think in these modern days, that like any of this wacky doodle stuff that's out there. So shout out to the spiritual community, shout out to everyone who is doing their work on themselves and doing the best they can to keep their vibration high. And really, that's the best thing you can do, 100% all the time. So but yeah, we're going to get into a little bit. We'll get into cards in a little bit later. But one thing I keep seeing popping up, like, for example, is like Enki and the Cedar race people and whatever's coming back, and they're blah 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 blah, and they're watching and they're gonna come back and they're gonna, I don't know, do something, and I'm really just kind of like, I really don't care who comes back, at this point. I could really care less who's going to be showing up, who thinks they can show up, who needs the rule, who pops in. You know, if there's some giant, if there's some ultimate person being that's just going to come here and show up and then just kind of like, you know, I don't know, what are they going to do? You know, and then they, oh, I'll squash you. We're the original Cedars. We know, well, then you know what? Squash us. Like, I really don't care at this point. It's like, you know, they're like, come back, don't come back. I really don't care. Like, you know, if you're working on the side of good, then you're working on the side of good. Don't care about your name. Don't care if you're coming back. Don't care if you left. Don't care if you actually were here before. Don't really, you know. So there's a lot of things in the spiritual realm that, like I always say, that is getting misnomered. You know, there's a lot of stuff. Check out ascensionglossary.com if you guys haven't heard of that. There's a lot of information on there, right? But essentially, like Groundhog's Day, like I always say, this stuff just keeps cycling over and over because it's a circle. It's not a straight line. So all of these things that, you know, we have to learn from history so we don't repeat history, right? You have to learn from your past so you don't make the same mistakes moving forward. It's the same thing, just a smaller circle, right? As opposed to a big planetary or solar system or whatever circle, you know? So, you know, I love all the, you know, the knowledge that's coming out, right? All this disclosure and everything, and it's great. But we always have to watch out for the misinformation and the disinformation and the whatever, you know. And if it's misinformation, then that means you were misinformed. That's fine, you know. Just we got to keep learning, we got to keep moving forward, we got to keep doing this, we got to keep doing that, you know. But you know, after, you know, contacting or channeling so many different kinds of energies, and then once you realize like all the different energies that you have are your channelings, like that is your soul family, that is your this, it is that, it's part of you, it's part of your fractal, it's part of ancestry, it's part of this, part of that, you know, like you know, we're all, are you Pleiadian, are you Lyran, are you, you know, whatever. It's like, I don't, you know, when you know, you know, and when you find out, and then you know, and then you learn more about why you're here and what, you know, your mission is, and blah 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 blah, which is great, right? But once again, you know, are we here? Are you helping? Are you helping? Are you being nice, right? Like I always like to say on the show, one thing to rule them all: just be nice. And then it doesn't matter what your DNA is, what, if you're reptilian or you're a saint, doesn't matter if you're an angel or not, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're nice, you're nice. You know, and I think that that implies the whole concept that we're not in control. That implies the concept that, like, you know, oh, I am this, I am Pleiadian, that's why I do this, right? Like, we keep trying to figure out like why the after effect, you know, instead of being proactive and like moving forward and just being like, well, I don't care what happened in my past. I mean, like, sure, we do, whatever, you know, but we're going to make a better future. And that's what this whole thing is about. Doesn't matter if you got light side, if you got dark side, listen, we got it all. We got all of them. You got all of them. I got all of them. Oh, is this the bad camera? I got to use my other one. And then it keeps focusing. I'm trying to look at the camera and see the screen bumping in. There it goes again. Sorry, guys. I want to do that message with you. You know, but really, we got to get over it all, you know, and that's what this whole thing is. Like they say, as above, so below, right? So what's happening above, what's happening below? Well, clearly above was a bunch of people who are arguing and trying to vie for power and blah, 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 blah. And look what happened on Earth, right? So it's the same thing here. It's just, you know, it's a bunch of little babies arguing with each other as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how else to put that. And I love you all. I love all of us, right? You know, I mean, you get to that point where you just do, but then I don't know how to look at them and go like, you know, good luck, bro. Like, you know, come to the light side, not the dark side. Just come to the light side, and it's way better over here, you know. And you know, that's part of what it all is. You know, like they say, we are the ones, you are the ones that you've been waiting for. You know, listen, I love it. It's a great saying. Makes me feel special, makes me feel empowered, and it's not true, right? But at the same time, like, if I'm the one that I've been waiting for, well, I mean, I know that because, you know, I love me and I love being a goofball and just, you know, trying to have fun here on Earth as often as I can. So I have no problem with that. But I mean, if I'm the one I've been waiting for, like, you know, like, I would like to think that we would Hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, am I the one really? Are you the one really? The ones we've been waiting for. Okay, so what you're basically saying is you're not coming to help, right? I mean, they're helping on the non-physical. It's just funny, right? So, and that's the challenge, because this is an individual path, right? It's everybody has their own path, right? And we're all here for our own reasons and our own reflections and our own healings, transmutations, whatever, all the stuff. So it's totally up to you, and you are the one that you've been waiting for. You're the one that all of your aspects have been waiting for, right? This physical incarnation, right, is a focal point, of energy, right? To get so dense, to be so, right, it's all focused into here, and not all of it, because we blow up, you know what I mean? But that's why we can raise our vibration, we can grow, we can get bigger, we can do all these things, um, and it's really just up to you to decide. That's when you equate that to people in life who are successful or not successful, right? Like, well, what does success mean to you? I mean, if it means having a peaceful life and not needing all this crazy entertainment, excitement, blah 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 blah, then like you're good with just going on hikes through the forest, right? But if you want to be the CEO of something, right, then that's your idea of success. So it's really kind of just like understanding the path that you're on is a spiritual path, and it's not about the material stuff that's here, right? Right. Because it's a spiritual thing, and that's what I like to talk about on Sunday spiritual sessions, where we spiritualize all the stuff that's going on in the world. uh so, and again, I'm not knocking the ancient arts, right? Study Taoism and elements and Tai Chi and stuff like this, meditation, whatever else, you know, that all goes along with it. And, been contacted, I could see beings in my third eye, when I was a kid looking at me, going to bed at night or whatever, all these kinds of things. And, it's just so much more, there's so much more going on. There's so much more going on than the measly, you parked in my parking space, right? Or something like that, even though it's not an unnumbered parking space, but clearly they own it, So um, that was a fun thing. I want to talk to you guys all about what just happened, but no, we'll say that's not the point of this, right? But people are feeling it, boy. That was exciting, I got called all kinds of names for a parking space. I don't know what it is with the elder generations and their parking spaces. Man, it must be hard to walk when you get older. I hope that never happens to me. Shout out to people. I got a grandpa. He's got a cane. I know. I get it. But that's why I moved my car, so grandpa could. Anyways, because he's coming over. So I only got a little bit until he gets here. We're gonna have some dinner on this beautiful Sunday. About an hour, so we're good. Cool. And so people are feeling it, that's for sure. And everybody's going to feel it at their own time. Everybody's going to feel it in their own way, and everybody's going to have to process it, and however you can. And that's why all of these tools are so great and helpful for all of us. Tarot, saging, crystals, all this kind of stuff. YouTube videos, people talking stuff, meditation, anything like that. It's all meant to help you. So it's really, it's kind of like, what you got to do is you got to take society as you think you know it, and just drop it all, so that you can really understand it's all a spiritual thing behind it all, even though there's physicality happening all the time, and whatever the case is that our senses are mostly attuned to. There's so much more. There's so much more. It's why the little things are important, and the little things in the physicality are important. The smiling, the inner standing, the inner smile, the caring for others, the being polite, the being nice, like I say, or even, working out, eating right. It's like these things are, it's not just living on earth. We got food. We're only here for so long in the body, so have as much fun as you can. We should always be having as much fun as we can. But there's more to it. There's so much more to it, on an energetic level and on a ancestral level and on a galactic and on a soul level and all of these things. And the more we as people focus on that stuff, the more it's going to become apparent to us, because you can't change people, can't force people what to do, can't force people what to think, but we're all out here saying as much as we can, right? Just to bring these awarenesses around, just share. It's like I've always said, we should just share. Sharing is caring. You got to share your consciousness. You got to share your energy that you have, right, with the world. That's the point. Now, you don't want it to be stolen. You don't want to be draining or wasting your energy or something of this matter, which is why exercising is important. Taking care of the body is important. The mind is, but not getting caught up in things mentally, not getting bogged down too heavy physically, food or emotions even, caught up in things. And so all of these little things that are important to do to take care of yourself, right, takes care of everything around you, because you're the center point of your entire being, right? Or we can argue all the different centers. There's more centers here, center, right? But you're a fractal. I'm a fractal. We're fractals of the whole, right? But we're the ones that came here. That's why all eyes are on us, and that's why you came here, because you're powerful and you know how to do it. If we think of all the beings, there's trillions, beyond quadrillions. There's so many beings in the universe. We don't even probably have the word for for that number on Earth. We probably even haven't gotten that high, even figure out what that word is. That's how many there are on all the dimensions. I mean, oh my, there's so many. And the fact that there's only 6 billion here now, or 7 or 8, whatever it is, it's a really small number. It's this one little tiny planet. It's like looking at an anthill and going, there's probably 8 trillion ants all over the world. There's probably way more, right? Because they're so tiny. So the numbers, it's not about how big the number, it's what's important is that you're here. You're here. You're the one. You're the one from your family line. You're the one from your whatever it is that came here to do something, And so the path of ascension, for you to ascend, right? It's important to recognize that you already are ascended and that we came here, right? See, that's the paradox, this, especially spiritual or Christianity, right? Do what I say or you're going to hell. Well, this is, that's not how this works. And it's that mindset that makes us feel like, there's nothing, blah, 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 But if you take that and you go higher, right, what are we doing in the spiritual community, right? So if you're saying, so physicality, religion says, do what I do or you're going to hell, right? Or some sort of deal, because everybody's got a God and, maybe they're not all nice, whatever. I don't want to talk about all of them. There's 200 plus religions practiced in the world. I mean, geez. But if you take that up and you go up to the spiritual hierarchies, you get up into, the dimension, the densities, it's, and then you're going to say the same exact thing. Like, okay, so the path of ascension, right? Well, you have to do A, B, C, and D and blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe your path is to, I don't want to say, but it's to get to fall ill or something, right? Like, so that others can see what happens, right? Yeah. And I think, a lot of us have heard about that, or, if you guys haven't, just that concept of, because people say, why do children go young sometimes? I mean, it's all random, you never know, but why would a child, why would you need to take a child at an age where they barely even started, or something like that? And then they say, well, it's the lesson, right? It's the lesson, the soul incarnated, right, in order to, have an effect. And they did, right? And yes, it's, it's horrible, it's terrible, it never feels good, but now does that mean that baby doesn't get to ascend? Like, you know what I mean? When they barely had self-awareness, and with themselves, because their vibration was, stuff like that. So it's the idea of coming here in the first place is that you're already ascended, right? So from there, the only thing to do is to make sure that you don't ruin it. So basically, way to put it, which, can happen to anybody. We always try to make the best decisions that we can, and maybe we don't. That's life, especially, in this day and age, public school, is brutal. Some things that these kids say, some of these kids can be so mean, man, and then again, where'd they get that from? I mean, I'm not here to say, but that's why you got to work on yourself, um, all the time, because then it affects everyone else in your vicinity. So the best thing you can do is just constantly keep taking care of yourself. Like, I think I saw somebody shared something with me, and it was a guy talking about, I don't know if it was a TikTok or whatever, it's a short or something, and he was talking about how after you're gone in your funeral, right, everybody will show up for the funeral. Some people fly in, some people will call and say they can't make it, some people this and stuff, right? Then you'll pass, then you'll leave your will, and let's say you have 2 kids or 3 kids, you have, whatever the case. And so now one of them's going to say, oh, like, I inherited this and I get this and I get that, and then maybe the first anniversary of your death, some people will remember, and some people, but really life goes on, it keeps moving forward, and a lot of times, and the further you go, the easier it gets to deal with, the loss and stuff like that. But, if you don't live your life for you, and that's what it was saying at the end, then who are you living it for? Nobody else can do that for you. Nobody else can, nobody else can change you or make you change or make you do or make you, whatever, be, however you want to be. Sorry, I'm thinking, what is coming in here? Oh yeah, no, that was earlier. I know. I told you guys, I'm still shaking this off. Wow, parking spaces. Jesus, man. So yeah. What else? What else you got? Give me some. The parking spaces. There's a lesson in that we could talk about. I think, okay, yeah, but no, we don't need that. That's personal stuff. We don't need to pick on my neighbors. Right? He's just having a bad day, clearly. So we'll let that one go. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing? I don't think it does say anybody's on. I actually am not broadcasting on Facebook. I don't know if I will continue to anymore. But we'll see. I actually had to re-sign in to my Facebook and everything, StreamYard, and I got company, so I can't remember my password. So I was going to do the whole first. So I just signed in. So this will be available on YouTube for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to check in, say I'm not gone. I haven't gone anywhere. Hopefully you guys are doing well in your ascension, and also don't get caught up in what people and beings that you're constantly connected to, because what did a friend tell me recently? They said about something about me, that I should recognize who I'm talking with or something of the sort more, right? Or something like that, and then I honestly felt like, why? Because are they butthurt? Are they butthurt because I didn't say their name? And because, like, they're free to come down, you're totally free to come down and incarnate and hop on YouTube and make their own videos all they want. But at this point, I'm over the what tribe is this tribe, and the honor, and the we're so cool, and what, and we came from this and we came from that. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, either get along or get out. That's it. 2 rules in my universe: get along or you can't stay. That's it. I don't need a law of this, a law of gravity, a law of, you know what I mean? It's like, and like, yeah, are they the laws? I don't even need to call them laws. It just works that way. Can't you tell? If it's cause and effect, right? Like, if I poke my eyeball with my finger, the cause of my eyeball hurting right, was my finger, and the effect of my finger poking my eyeball was my eyeball hurting. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, and there's too much, because what I notice is it's all special. It's all like fame and stuff. Like, if you're in the spiritual community because you want fame and recognition, or you want like, you know what I'm saying, that no, then you're not, no, then we need to watch, you guys need to watch somebody else. Because I'm not here to do this for fame or for money or for acknowledgement or for recognition. You know what I'm saying? I've been on this for what, 4 years now, just talking smack, you know what I mean? Just, and not even that, just explaining what I'm going through, explaining what the process is like for me, sharing my story, because and because that's what I love. I love to hear your guys' stories, right? And that's how we really figure it out. You don't figure it out by just one person knowing everything, right? That's this scary, this false enlightenment thing where, like, you just figure it all out and then you can just do it all, and you can just, no, like, if we can't learn to be friends on Earth, what do you think the higher densities are and dimensions? There isn't just one being in the next dimension up, and one being and then one above that, and then one being, and it's not just one being all the time, and sure, there was the original creator of all of this, and etc. like that. But who's to say he didn't have a brother or a sister? Who's to say that they didn't go? You know what I mean? Like, wow. What's the point? What are you trying to say? The point is coming from your heart. The point is love. The point is being honest, being truthful, caring. You know, that's what that's the discernment that everybody needs to figure out. Once you figure it out, it's easy to see in people. You can tell just by looking at people, almost just by looking at people. I mean, if you scan them, third eye, whatever, depends, and not just assume, not psychology, if you will. And it's kind of like similar type deal, whatever, but not assuming that just because, like a resting bitch face, right? Resting bitch face. That thing, like, oh, if you looked at them, your logical or whatever psychology or whatever logic, I don't know, says, oh, they must be having a bad day, or they're upset, or and then they're totally not. It's just the way their face looks. It's like, so we got to stop thinking that, like, we know things. Like, this is why I could never get into, like, psychologists and stuff like that, because you know I I think I already know how to analyze what people are doing and why they're doing it and how they're doing it, and that's really all comes from your intuition. And a lot of that's true. Like they say, if somebody's lying, they look down and to the left if they're lying. I think that was the one, right? And it happens, right? So you can see that, but anytime I do that, like, I don't have any reason to lie. Like, so I'm eventually at some point going to look down to the left if I'm thinking about something. Like, I go look down and go, so does it mean I'm lying? Not always, so we have to get past this human construct that, like, humanity knows everything, because it doesn't. I hate to break it to humanity is very far from knowing many things. Okay, so all the experts, all of this, all of that, listen, the only thing you need to be an expert about is yourself. The only thing you need to expertise is how to calm your nerves when you get excited, right? Like I just did, or had to do, and actually had to jump on here before I got to, I didn't have time to, like, just sit and meditate. I wanted to get live. So we got company coming over, right? 30 minutes. All right. They'll probably be here early too. They usually are. All right. What was I saying? What were we getting at here? Yeah, that the true path of ascension doesn't take entertainment, doesn't need entertainment value. It doesn't need, once you know what your role is here to play, what your job is, what you're able to do, and then you realize what more you can do because you've done the inner work, and you realize all these things. That's when you can help people. That's when you can start sharing yourself with the world. That's why I started this channel, was because I knew what was happening with me, and I didn't start the channel right away. I went through 5 years or whatever of just by myself, and now it's been 4 years or whatever of the channel, and but there was a reason. Like there's a reason why we're all out here, and all of us, like shout out to all of you. Just keep going, right? If you get hooked on something, go for it. It's like me and Taoism, right? I loved it. Kung Fu, Tai Chi, Taoism, oh cool, fire, water, elements, blah 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 blah, and Chinese zodiac, right? And Chinese New Year's, it's like in February, so it's not January, so it's a different calendar system, and they have all, and so what's that like? What's astrology like? What's it, right? And so it's great, and it's a lot of fun, and that's what I like to talk about and do, right? And I think that's what we all like to, spiritual community, we all like this kind of stuff, and but needing, I think I've said this on this show before on the channel, is we don't, if everybody had equal everything, let's say nobody wanted for anything ever, we had equal wage, or not even wages, you didn't even have to work, like we had replicators, we can make whatever we wanted, right? And we had equal everything, and everybody could take care of themselves, everything, there wouldn't be this dire need to find God. You know what I'm saying? Now there is, because we've gotten so far away from that, which is why it's like it is, because we forgot that, so yeah, it has to do with it. But it's the chase. It's making you chase things outside of yourself because you think something's wrong with you and you need more stuff from outside of yourself. You know what I mean? The only reason we even need half the knowledge that we need is in order to live in the world. If we just were brought up naturally, organically, right? We had a home that we grew up in, babies, whatever, had some family around, whoever, the older 18 plus, they went off to go find them, they maybe left home, the coop, find. But if you knew how to eat, you knew how to, find food, we wouldn't need to know, you don't even need to know math. I mean, honestly, like how many people, when the West, right, America, the Western gold rush, when everybody's, and they were making their houses, and were they mathematician experts? Were they professional construction workers? No, they just grabbed a nail and some boards, and then they put them together. You know what I mean? And then they figured out the angles all on the go. So it's all this. The society, the whole thing has to come down, and not come down because there'll always be a society, you know what I mean? But it's what, it's what you see when you're not from here, right? You see all the, what's going on down there, that's kind of crazy type stuff, and that's really what, that's really what's going to make the difference. That's what is making the difference, and that's what's changing this world. For the better. And like I say, it's just a bunch of people arguing. It's a bunch of beings all over the world, all over the galaxy, all over the universe, all over the dimensions. I don't know, I don't care anymore, and they're all just arguing with each other, and they're having hissy fits, guys. That's all it is. I want this, I want a dominant, I want this, and it's like, listen, it's like the hybridization program, or it's like the, beings trying to, like, survive, or like, because some of them are dying off in the DNA and they got jacked up. It's like, didn't any of them think to be like, hey, our species is dying over here, is anybody out there could help us out? No, instead they gotta like abduct humans and like try to like do all this cranky ass weird shit, and it's just like, again, because nobody still knows how to get along. So so I often question why I'm down here when I think we need help up there. It's like, we need help everywhere. But then it's funny because it's so simple. So simple, guys. It's so simple. That's why I feel like I don't even know if I have much to say anymore. Right? because there isn't. And do I have it all figured out? No, but I got enough of it figured out, to realize that, um, in order to, live here on Earth, it's simple. Like, it's simple, but it's, like I say, it's not always easy, right? It can be the hardest thing ever. But it's very simple. Oh, I think they're here. Darn it, I might have to go. I knew they'd be early. Let me pull some cards though, real quick here. I'm gonna have to cut the cards short too then. So we're just gonna do. I gotta do one tarot. But yeah, I want to let you guys know. Like, there's a lot of good things that are happening, and everybody just has to maintain that knowing. Just keep knowing that, and knowing that every day, right? Like, it's getting better. And hopefully you guys are feeling that. I hope you guys are like, your vibrations are getting better. It's being harder to hold on to negativity, right? I think that's that I've been noticing a lot too. Just like the sense of like a negative vibration, situation. And it just kind of, it disappears a lot quicker now, for me. Like, I just don't even, I don't even give it a second thought. But even if then, like, I wanted to, so let's say I want to analyze it, see if there's a truth in there or there's something to learn, they'll just disappear before I can even get any further. And then I'll go, oh, I forgot what my question even was. Thank you. They call it Alzheimer's. I call it information I didn't need. And that's the other part of it too, So just as they've physicalized spiritual life, which is spiritual, right? Is what we're doing here, or I'm doing here. I'm bringing back the spiritual aspects of it, right? It's not, it's not the BS things that the doctors call it all the time, Now it is, sure, because we need a name for it, but, and there is a physical body. But once you understand that everything can be healed with you, and through you, everything, then all you got to do is practice. It's a lot of fun being here when you stay on your course. I think what happens a lot of times, like I say, is everybody's running around trying to find out what they think is the most important new thing for them to know, and what they should be doing, or what, and that becomes difficult, and because we're forced into that, we got to go to school, college, do this, do that, get a job, do this, so, as long as we keep playing that game, and not finding actual real ways to get out of these things and to help each other and to start communities, it's kind of like, like pissing and moaning about, government's doing this or government's doing that, and it's just like, that's not going to help anything. That's them. We need to focus on our communities. You need to focus on what you can do around, with your friends, with your family, with your neighbors, with your, your communities, because that's where it's at. Everything else, these balloon heads are talking about on TV. I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. I guess, the TV, it came out in the 1950s, television, and it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then we could talk and we could see, or, we could see our leaders in physicality, and it was just so amazing. And I don't know. It really, the concept that there's one person, prime minister, president, whatever, that like is in charge. I mean, we have checks and balances in the U.S., but I mean, it's it's a total of 500 people, House, Senate, Congress, I don't know, judges, right? All of it, like, there's 500, maybe 1,000 people, not even, that like really, 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 get to say and get to have this, or, do the laws and the vetoing and the, whatever, passing the bills down, and we're all listening to them as if they know everything that's going on. They don't even talk about spiritual stuff anymore. They don't. Like, they all they'll say is, God bless America. That's it. And then everybody loses their mind. Like, yeah, because we need it. Okay. I don't know. right? That doesn't mean I'm voting for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I said that too every day. You know, like, original creator of this place of benevolence, please help. Right? Like, it ain't got nothing to do with these presidents and these prime ministers and all these people that none of us ever want to listen to them anyways. That's what blows my mind. Like, unless you're in politics and your family's in politics, like, then you'll be a little more, into it. But I think every average person, street person, whatever, regular Joe and Jane, they don't care nothing about nobody, none of that stuff. Hey, Nicole. Oh my gosh, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Love your videos. Yeah, I will totally get you a card. I just started pulling the 3 for the Ravens again. Look at again. We got the 4 of Pentacles. I keep getting that a lot. Weeks in a row. So we're definitely still holding on to and hoarding, right? Then we got 5, 6, 7 of Pentacles. Why is it in Roman numerals? I'm not Roman. And then we got 5, 6, 7, 8 of Swords, but in reverse. So I'm going to read them out for all you guys. As usual, I don't memorize them all either. I haven't yet. But this 4 Pentacles, I'll get you a card after this real quick. 4 Pentacles, hoarding your wealth. Let's see here. Accumulated wealth and is financially secure. She's created a comfortable life. However, the fear of losing it all keeps her from enjoying her riches. Focused on feelings of scarcity and lack, this bird is so concerned with holding her possessions tightly that she is unable to fly. The 4 of Pentacles denotes an inability to feel secure despite having accumulated wealth. The crow's warning: obsessing on what we may lose will prevent you from experiencing joy from what you have. I think that's really important too, because especially now with the finances and with everything happening and inflation and this and that and blah, 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 blah. This is really important right now. And it's trying to talk about, it said financial wealth and is financially secure. And I think the reality of that is, we're more secure than we tend to think, even if you're not millionaires, you're not billionaires, and not everybody can, not everybody is, but if you have friends, if you have families, if you can get a job. Like, one thing I've always said about working, anybody who works minimum wage, is if you've ever done that and survived, well, then you're going to be able to survive forever. Now, sure, it's going to be not like the job that you want or something like that, but there's really no reason to worry, right? So, yeah, sure, what can happen once it's all gone? I mean, I don't know what happens. That's something I don't like to think about, as a matter of fact, so we don't even need to talk about that stuff, right? But it's the reality of knowing that, like, you're already okay because you're still here and you've made it. So it does talk about financial security and stuff like that. And in reality, it is true. I mean, because you can always find, another job, or you can always find work, or you can always, sure, there's a lot going on with masks and having to be vaccinated or this or that and all this kind of stuff. So it's changing the landscape, and it sucks for, if you get affected by that. But don't let that be the end all be all. It's interesting how life constantly goes on, but people, we tend to get into, or we can get into these ruts where, or these mentalities where it's all going to end, or it's all going to over with, or it's all like, it's like all or nothing, like, oh, if I didn't have, and that's why, even when you get something in the future and then you get it and you're like, oh, I finally got that one thing, and then you've had it for a while and then it kind of wears off, but then you were spending a whole year wanting that thing so desperately, so it's really just, to me, this is all about, like, everybody just it's all about the inner, it's inner standing that it's not what it seems like. It's realizing that it's all that we've been told how to think about these things and how to feel, and and we learned it. Maybe, our parents, it's like, you got parents that are trying to raise the kiddos, they got to work, it's a lot of stress. So we see that, and then, we think, oh yeah, money's, the root of all evil, like they say. No, honestly, I love money and I want all of it. I want it all to pour into my pockets all the time. But it's not what's important to me. You know what I mean? It's not, but I'm going to have a positive relationship with it, because I do use it in order to buy food and I use it to, do things. So I think it's a great thing. But of course, the debt behind it is the problem. If we were just printing paper and there was no debt, there was nothing to pay back, then it'd be fine. If you just made, if we needed some, like, say your community or your town, was in a rut, and you just printed some more money to help out, like that would be fine. But the whole reason they got in the rut in the first place is because we have this debt system. So in reality, if we had free equal money, no debt type things, maybe we pay taxes, right, for the roads to get fixed, stuff like this, actually to do that, it would all work out and it would be fine. So it's really about changing the mindset, because you can't change your reality unless your beingness changes too. And that's what happens through all this process that everybody's going through. You're going to change physically, you're going to change emotionally, you're going to change mentally and spiritually. You're going to realign, because typically your soul is, for the most part, good. Although there are things to help and blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, that's the alignment and that's the goal. Once you can do that, the rest, then you let the rest of it filter in to your mental, emotional, physical, from your soul, and then you give that to the earth, and then the earth will give back to you, right? It's a symbiotic relationship, and so just keep, realizing the wealth that you are, realize the soul that you, understanding how many billions, trillions of years life has existed, even just on Earth, right? Well, scientists say it's 5 billion years old or whatever, and it's got another 5 billion till the sun. I mean, whatever. It's been here a long time. There's been a lot of beings, and we are all from a very long line of beings that have been coming, that have been all over the galaxy and have been coming to Earth too for some time. So who you really are, the power, the fact that you're here shows how strong you are, shows your abundance, shows the wealth that you have to bring to this place. We have the wealth of other worlds to bring and to share with this place. So it goes far beyond just, the paper stuff, we all got to figure out life, how to do that. And once you figure that out, then, keep it simple for yourself. Like I say, I like to sit outside and exercise and do all this kind of stuff all the time. So let me hurry up here. Like I say, my company just showed up. Got 2 more here, 5, 6, 7. So then we're on 7. Let me count it right. It says the crow rests after embarking on the difficult task of gathering a treasure trove of bright reflective coins that will adorn her nest and make a protective space for her fledglings. The 7 of Pentacles asks that you think about the long term when you're investing your time and energy. Although quick short-term gains may be had, in the end they will not last. Only through hard work and planning will you discover lasting benefits from your work. And it wasn't reversed, so that's it from that. So yeah, gathering your things, taking your time, right? Every what is this called? Nest is one branch at a time, one twig at a time, right? If you're a crow, you can only carry so much in that beak, and then maybe one on your feet. I mean, unless you're going to land funky, so one thing at a time to realize your dream or whatever it is, dream or not dream, right? Who knows what's a dream? We're all in a dream. Is it, so, this, just taking your time, going slow, not worrying, you've accumulated a lot throughout all of your incarnations. And this is putting these things together, figuring out what they are, gathering your strengths, gathering your abilities, gathering your resources, and building something with it. Doing something in this life, like I said in the beginning, living for you, So cool. I like that. Then we do have 5, 6, 7, 8 of swords in reverse. The crow is caught in a cage of swords and here it's reversed. Here we'll read it. So crow is caught in a cage of swords and wrapped in a long red ribbon that represents her self-limiting beliefs. She is a prisoner, powerless due to lack of vision or inability to break free from her self-imposed cage. The Eight of Swords is a message to take back your power by looking at the situation from a different angle. The Eight of Swords denotes a challenge due to restrictions that appear to be overwhelming or beyond your capabilities. You have the power to overcome any problem. The Eight of Swords asks that you look inward to discover the potential within. Now, it is reversed. So the reverse is the Eight of Swords indicates that the time of hardship is ending. As a result, you have learned lessons that will help you manage future challenges. Right. And so, I mean, you got your wealth, your health, your happiness. Hopefully you have a goal of some kind, right? Or you don't, even if your goal is no goal, right? How can you make that manifest in a world where it's all about goals, right? That's just as hard, if not even harder, to just step back and let it all go, because, why passive? Oh, we need more ambition. No, honestly, I think people need to relax is what this world needs. We don't need more coffee and all this stuff. Right? Oh, yeah, he's here. Okay. I'm going to pull your card and then I'm going to take off. And then, so then taking all your stuff, planning your vision, and then knowing that you're coming out of it, right? Yeah, you guys just heard what I said. I just got sidetracked there. Sorry. What was that one? Yeah, that it's coming to an end. Time of hardship is ending. And you've learned the lessons that will help you manage future challenges, right? So you've learned how to gather this and you know how to put this together. And so now it's saying that whatever else was stopping you maybe from doing this, it's not going to stop you anymore, right? It's time to get going a little bit. And I think, like I said, I like to do collective. This is for the collective moving forward. I'm here as a humanity ambassador or humanitarian, right? As much as I can be. So I really just think this shows smooth path ahead. Smooth path ahead. It might not be smooth, but it's a path ahead. We're moving forward, right? So what do you want to create? And which is why I clearly started this by saying, live for you. What are you doing? Living for you, or whatever that meme was, or short that we saw. Okay, I gotta get going. Nicole, you're coming up right here. We're doing Crow Tarot, and then I'll pull you. What else we got? Would you like Odin? Sheesh, it didn't even let me shove. Would you like Odin or Galactic Heritage? I'm gonna pull one for you. We got Odin. And we got Galactic Heritage. Do you have a choice on those? Because these are the oracles. So I'll pull you one of the oracles going with this. Your tarot is Judgment. I don't think I've seen this yet. The Crow Judgment one yet. And Judgment's my jam. I'm a Libra. So Judgment is my jam. All right. Oh, hold on. Is that? Oh, I thought it was 22. It's 20. All right, here. Transition, reincarnation, and rebirth. Elements fire. Yeah, if you can't see looks like it's fire in the back. The crow calls out for those who are ready to rise up and face their past by accepting the judgment. Only by acknowledging the history will you be able to move forward into the future. Now is an excellent time to meditate and listen to your inner voice. It is only through quiet contemplation that you find the path to absolution. The judgment card may reflect a recent awakening that has moved you to take stock of any habits or life choices that are holding you back. When it's reversed and it wasn't. So yeah, that actually kind of corresponds with, what's been going, what these things are saying. So I would say you're right on path. You're just with everybody as we're all going through it too. The whole world's going through things. You're right on time. Now is an excellent time to meditate and listen to your inner voice, right? And make your plans. Plan what you want to do, because the hard times coming to an end. So you're going to get the go ahead. We're all going to get the go ahead, right? But if we don't have the plan in mind, and we don't use our resources, right? So that's what it was saying too, was not so much that you just collected all this financial wealth, abundance, blah, 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 because clearly if if 1.1% of the people on earth have all the wealth, 99% of the wealth, and when they talk financial, it's really, it's saying wealth. I think every single person, like the majority, 80 90% of people are not filthy rich or whatever. So that's what I think it means, is it's just taking our wealth, taking the things that we've developed and our skills, right, and then creating a plan and seeing it through. That's a big part of it too, because it's definitely something I like to not do, is see things through. If I don't like them, like I'll see through what I want to see through, but I guess by default, because I'm not going to work hard and be stressed out and be in pain and sore and headaches and and all this stuff just to like get across the point. It's like, that's why I come on here and blab, because it's way easier. But if it's something that you're creating, you're building, right, like websites, like I'm doing, not at a very slow pace, because I'm not a website designer and it's the most annoyingly tedious thing in the world. Yeah, so sometimes we got to do some things. Just pace yourself, take your time. But yeah, whatever this judgment card is for you, that's too many. Anyone is fine. How many awakenings do I have to go through? Exactly. Well, once you're awake, then it's just a matter of knowing that you always are. And like I say, it's reprogramming the societal structure that we think we came from, like the whole, God, do what I say or you're going to hell. And then in order to ascend, you have to do what they say in order to, no. We're just taking it and we're copying and pasting it. We have to be careful that when we're learning these new things, that we're not bringing the past into it, right? And I think, because that's what I recognize with myself, is anytime I find a repetition in my energy, my thoughts, my patterns of whatever, I have to say, well, why is this happening? And so when I go spiritual and I go up and I start, and I ask, whatever, then I realize it's like, oh, this is either happening up here too, and then we need to fix this. And it's not about which way do I go, it just needs to be fixed. We need to nip it in, that we need to stop, whatever it is. And or it's something where I find often, you guys are full of crap, but it's not spirit that's full of crap. It's the interpretations that we have here that we're trying to relay from spirit, because yeah, sure, in the higher realms it all works, whatever, differently, but then down here we have to, this and that. So it's not that they're saying it doesn't work, or it's not like they're not helping, but it's how do we implement that here. So they're not saying do this or else. They're saying this, we see this coming your way, we see this, try that, see how it works, right? It's a team effort and it's constantly ongoing, so every awakening is just another realization to something else, to, in my opinion, to let go of. I don't think it's, it's like I'm saying, like we're letting go of the old thought on it, whereas because we have to replace it with a new thought. And until we really do that, like secure, cement it in, that's when it'll change, but if we're still like, oh, but like that's why I say learning too much stuff. Like if you're constantly reading the Bible and then comparing it to spiritual and then reading the Bible, like that's going to be the most confusing thing you're ever going to do to yourself. You know what I mean? Because you're constantly trying to like why is this Bible? You keep trying to justify why the Bible's there. Just throw it all out. Like you don't need any of it. Just be at peace inside yourself, meditate, and and do the best you can. And like I said, I just had an encounter with a grumpy neighbor, and I was getting called every name under the sun, by him, all because of a parking space. Like never even talked to him, never met him my whole life. I don't know if he was drinking, I don't know, but he was angry. And I was like, well, listen, like I got company coming over and they're older. They walk, they got a cane, that grandpa's coming over, want him to walk right into the house. So I parked in a non-numbered spot, an apartment here, so he could have the space, and then just, you're, you're just a punk and blah blah blah. And I was just like, whoa. So again, I had to I had to hold myself together, and just say, listen, if that's all you have is just insults, then like we're not going to get anywhere. Like that's what I was saying to him. Like I had to hold back, I had to just calm down and relax, and I had to just write. And so what is that? Is that another lesson? Is that something that, right, that they're testing me to see that if when I face people like this, if I can hold my ground? Because honestly, I don't want to have to do anything. Like, how is that helping fixing the world when all they're going to do is sit there and just keep talking smack and they're not going to listen to anything that you say? Like, I'd rather not even be part of these things. So why do you have to test me when it comes to things like this, where in the end, all we do is just walk away and nobody gets anywhere? You know what I mean? It's like, so I like to think that, I kept it copacetic the whole time, but he just kept getting angrier. He just kept firing back. Like it didn't matter what I said. He just like was another name call, another name call, another name call. But that's what I say. So what was that for? Was that to test to see if I won't snap on him? It's like, trust me, I wanted to, but I know better by now. So but it's interesting, it's kind of like maybe it was for him. Maybe he needed to actually meet me and, to know that I'm not so bad. I don't know. It's just funny. It's always a test, but that's what I'm saying. It's not a test anymore, parking, yeah, it's a test, right? No, it's just, but that's what I'm saying. They just say it's a test. It's not a test anymore, right? Because if you wanted to ask me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what to do, I would be helping people. We'd be growing communities. We'd be having fun. I'd be communicating with people who actually want to communicate, and we know how to communicate, and we'd be working together in order to create a better world. I wouldn't like they say you're being tested. No, we're just being bombarded by balloon heads in this world. I don't need your negative processing test I don't need your dumb tests. You know what I mean? Don't send me moron after moron after moron who I love with all my heart. I love humanity. Okay, we're just talking here. Don't keep sending me them if they're not ready to listen to me. Don't send them to me just to like mess with it. It's just testing you. Yeah, well, keep testing me and we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? To see if I'm going to always choose the right thing. You know what? Eventually I'm going to knock them out. Okay. And I probably won't. I'm just saying that out loud. I probably won't. Right. But that's the point. It's like we don't need these tests over and over and over and over. What we need is to get this show on the road and get this shit done already. What we need is funds so we can build our cities of light and our cities of, our healing centers. So get off the testing. This is why I like talking smack. I've already gone through all of the ascension aspects that are in the book of ascension. I've already checked them with them, and a good 50% of them are wrong. They're not. It's all BS. 50% of them is the spiritual hijacking of what it is to be spiritual. Because that's like I said again, if God says, "Oh, do this or you're going to hell," well, that's the same thing. So then you say, "Oh, well, do this or you won't ascend." How's that even? What is that even? What is that even supposed to mean? Like, you know what I mean? So what do you want to do? What do I get to do? What do I mean? You know what I mean? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. They're just trying to copy and paste it so that we have nowhere to go. It's a lot of this, right? Because the spiritual ascension, all this, it's not the first rodeo. It's actually been around for all beings in all galaxies and all planets at all times in every density there is. There's always ascension available for everyone, So, they hijacked ascension before they even wrote the Christian Bible. You know what I mean? It was already done. It was already hijacked, the whole thing. So, and it's like if you read Ascension Glossary, go and read ascensionglossary.com and you'll get a lot of information. The Federation, there's a light side and there's a dark side federation. The Galactic Federation, Ashtar, all of these guys, right? They were up to some shit, okay? But now many of them have had to say, okay, sorry. uh, and that's not from the website, but a lot of this, like channeling the Galactic Federation, like they're not good. The originally Galactic Federation was not the good. That was the ones who infiltrated, the regular human peoples. And speaking of that, we're picking your galactic heritage then. TikTok. Oh no, I'm barely on TikTok. I actually had my account on there, and then um TikTok actually like deleted it. So like any of my crypto video or all the, I didn't do a lot on there, but anything I upload, like it was all gone. And so I sent them a message and they said that they'll reinstate it. Oh, because you had no strikes, so we'll reinstate it. But they reinstated it and everything's gone. And they gave my name and then like a number at the end. So they literally just stole my account, or they're like, we'll reinstate it. You didn't reinstate anything. Like you gave me a brand new account and all my content's gone. But my name is unusable. Like I can't make another one. So it says it's taken, but then I can't log into it. So it's literally gone to the ethers. I don't even know. They stole it and they're not giving it back. And I told them, you didn't reinstate anything. You canceled my account and then said, oh, you had no reason for us to cancel it. So we'll reinstate it. So yeah, I kind of gave up on TikTok. I mean, I have it for laughter and jokes because I'll watch it every now and then, if there's something funny, babies or so. I'm still on there, but I don't know if I'm still going to be, but I will check you out because I do have a dummy account. So if you get a user 7765 joints, that's probably me, but you probably won't have my face on it. So judgment, let's do, we're going to doing two galactics. Hey, B-Ray, what's up, man? Nice to see you, dude. You gotta come out next time, bro. I don't care. No excuses. You need more cowbell. You know what I mean? Okay, there's one. Wow. Yeah, this is a jumpy part right here. Okay. So we're doing two. Ah, two it is. Oh, look at you. Oh, look like a birdie whale. Okay, so you have Zeta Reticuli present, returning the favor. And then you got spiritual commitment, Vega, future. Maybe this has to do with your path. Returning the favor in the present, spiritual commitment in the future. Interesting. Dude, we need more cowbell. I'm just saying. 82, let's read it. So, during the darkest time of Zeta history, when they thought their species would be extinct, humans helped them. This immense and selfless gift will never be forgotten. Now that their species has passed through the crisis, the Zetas are returning the favor by offering us their wisdom, help, and love in a variety of ways. This is a connections card, which means that you have a connection to the Zeta race and their energy is available to you in this life to tap into on your spiritual path. You have also had at least one lifetime as a Zeta. Open yourself up to energy. Prepare for your heart to expand. And there's a lot of commentary in this. This is like really galactic heritage book. They go into, like, I just read you this part, and they go into all the commentary about the history. So it's cool. This is a good deck. Then we got spiritual commitment. Interesting. So maybe that's part of why you came back to help. In modern times, very often we only make a spiritual commitment when we are in pain, right? Like I say about, the only reason anybody needs to find God is because we need help. Like, if everything was hunky-dory, we'd find them or we wouldn't find them, or it wouldn't be a big deal if we did, or we'd know it's always there and we wouldn't have to have 250 different religions. We very often make a spiritual commitment when we're in pain. When the pain goes away, we become busy with the distractions of life and no longer remember our commitment. The vegans never lost their spiritual commitments and wove them into their everyday lives in so many enriching ways. This card asks you to look honestly at your spiritual commitments. How can you strengthen them, no matter whether you're feeling pain or joy? Go deep within and find the longing to be one with the universe. Remember that longing and your commitment can begin there. Nice. So yes, I think you got something from Zeta in your commitment, and that's kind of cool. So I don't know. That's why they're the Galactic Heritage cards. They're gonna tell us. So that's not even an oracle. Hold on, I got you. I told you I was gonna do. The first oracle was the returning the favor. You're Zeta, and because humans help Zeta, so now you're coming back to help humans. Perhaps, right? That off the top of my head. And then spiritual commitment was the second one. Yeah. That's all for you, Nicole. I'm going to pull you another one if you don't mind. Or unless you just wanted one card. Because I'm leaving after this, so. And you're my only customer, so. So I'm going to pull you an Odin real quick. If that's okay. Life is starting to pick up. Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you go back and check out the Crow Tarot part, that we're coming out of hard times, a collective. And it feels like that. It does feel like that. It does seem like that. Doesn't mean we're not going to have more false flags, but it's up to you. Like, how much do you want them to affect you? And a lot of times people say, oh, well, they're changing this or changing that. What do we do? Well, listen, you got to change your life. You got to be adaptable, right? You got to, like I say, we tend to think all or nothing. Oh, it's all coming to an end. And if you got, if anybody's ever survived on minimum wage, you're good. Like, I mean, yeah, you might have to work a lot or something. It might suck there, but you're going to make it, so yeah. So we worry a lot. Come on, let's give Nicole some Odin, some Midgard. Yeah, cool. I love it. That's how I am too. We can't do it unless they ask. Like, well, I mean, we could, but I use all these rules all the time. Like, if I read somebody's card and they just like their life was over, I mean, that's too. They're hanging on too much. I'm sorry. I mean, it shouldn't really be. I mean, yes, we should ask. Oh, that was two of you guys. No, you were first. They kind of jumped out the same way. Probably should have grabbed both. Apologies. I gotta go. I can hear him blabbing downstairs. Elhas. We've had him before. He's the Earth one, right? What is he? That's like a deity. It's a rune. Oh no, it's a rune. Wow, it is a rune. Protection. Elk mirror. Elhas is the rune of protection. The elk is a powerful animal and keeps the energetic field around you safe. Historically, the symbol of Elhas is the antlers of the elk, which were carved into spears by Norsemen as a sign of protection and victory. This rune addresses the spiritual warrior and is a mirror that reflects the inner self. The battle is always within yourself. Elhas encourages you to survey the land, to know your parameters and from whence the danger may come. If you draw this card, Elhas is protecting you. So cool. And I think that's important too. Knowing what's actually coming. I like how they said surveying the land, right? Knowing what's knowing what you resonate with, knowing who's full of baloney out there in the community, knowing who's right. So those are the tests, right? Those are the lessons, right? I think there are always lessons. I know I tease about the lessons, like we don't need no more lessons, but since we don't have any beings that are just here telling us what it is, which you can have the more you learn to meditate. This is why, once again, we're all looking for the answer, because we constantly need more. We need help. What Dave Chappelle said, God, if you listening, help. It's classic. I always remember that. Cracked me up. So I think because again, knowing what you're creating, knowing where we're going, knowing what we're pulling ourselves, that we are pulling ourselves, but knowing that you have all this stuff and just protecting it, right? You have all your wealth. You have your ideas of what to do, and you just keep going and you keep seeing it through, you know. And then what was the last one? And then it's going to pull us right out of it. So with him, you have protection. You did get judgment, remember, on the crow card. So I think you're at a good place right now. I put the crow tarot away. What else did judgment say? Come back. Hold on. Since I got to put the card away. Hold on. It said, oh yeah, now's an excellent time to meditate and listen to your inner voice. It may reflect a recent awakening that has moved you to take stock of the habits or life choices that are holding you back. Right, exactly. So awareness and moving forward, man. That's what we got to be doing all the time. All of us. Stop thinking about it. Stop worrying about it, and just get her done. All right, however you feel every day. And go for that walk in the morning, the jog, the whatever, and got some energy. Afternoon, just start making it happen. Right. That's what I was saying in the beginning of this. Live your life for you. Because it's yours, somebody else can't do it for you anyways. And again, it's all ancient adages, right? Sayings and all that stuff. And they've been around for all time. This isn't new. It's new because it's unique. It's always unique to the place, to the earth, to the planet, to wherever it's happening at, to the locality in space, time that it's at. So it's always unique, but it's not the first, even if this is the first in physicality of ascension, the process is still the same processes. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be variance, right? It's like anything, it's like, I don't know, doing anything, there's always a slight difference, depending on the person. So, or the situation. Maybe the wind's blowing east and not west this time, so now you got to adjust. But we're not alone, right? You're never alone. This isn't the first time we've done this. But all the like hype stuff, I'm done with personally. Like, the ancient Sumerians are coming back. Oh, are they? Oh no. What? I mean, oh yay. I mean, what? I don't care. Are they coming or not? I ain't got time to talk about it. Are they here yet? No. Okay. Then, or are they here now? Yeah. Okay. So then now what is it? What's happening with the earth anyways? I mean, honestly, I don't care. If they're coming back, then let them come back and let them do something. And then I'll say, oh, look, they're back. That's what they're doing. But I don't need to know the ancient races are coming back and, all this and all that. Like, it's all hype. It's all just talk. It's literally just like news. It's just carrots pulling us forward. It's carrots and carrots and carrots until you got something concrete, real, that's actually happening. I don't have time for you. That's like, like meditation and things like this. Just do the things, meditate, exercise, contact your soul, yourself, your guides, yourself. Do it yourself. Know you can do it. Know you're already connected to it. Just listen and learn how, and feel and breathe again and do all this stuff. And you'll realize we're always connected. We're already connected. Right? This concept, do this or you're going to hell, or do this or you won't ascend, or do this or you can't, it's no, but you have to practice, like a muscle, it atrophies, right? If you don't use it, so you just have to keep practicing and you build it up, you make it stronger. And then, and that's what it is. That's why the mind, the mental, psychological warfare game, is that no, you're not, you are underneath God, you are underneath us, and you must listen to us, and blah blah blah. So everybody's trying to learn, but they're getting all their information from outside of them, and that's that's always secondary, right? What do they say? Primary reference in like journalism or whatever. Like, you're the primary reference. You are, right? Like, not for the accident that happened over there. That then you need the people who are over there, but we're not talking about that. You're talking about you. We're talking about your ascension. You're talking about how you feel. You're talking about how, you are a part of this world, and this world is a part of you. It all circles back to you. You are the center of everything that you've ever done or will ever do. No one else is. No one else is. Period. No one else is. Because like if I was a creator and I fractaled you off and I put you over there, well, now you're over there. So who's my primary reference now about that accident over there on Earth? You are. That the fractal is. That's my primary reference right now, right? It's a companion. It's a collaboration with spirit, with our other aspects of soul, with our other selves and higher selves, lower, whatever, higher, lower, doesn't matter. So the whole trying to put it right, trying to put it down so that it just is like that's what'll mess us up. And it's fine to do that. I mean, it's what we always do, but keep moving, keep going, don't get hung up on right, one thing or another. So because we're coming out of it, we're coming out of whatever the hardships was, and I think that's for most of the spiritual collective, and I think it'll happen for people too, because it's like the pandemic going on, it's kind of dying off, a little bit. They keep trying to rev it back up, but it ain't gonna happen. So I think we're good. Let's see. Yeah, cool. No worries. You're welcome, Nicole. Thanks for asking. You asking me helps me do this, and I like to do this. So thank you equally. First oracle was your first one. Oh no, we did those. Okay, wait, I'm reading back. Oh, I gotta scroll down. Sorry, I did scroll down. Oh, okay. A lot of alien shows, yeah, in the universe and planets and stuff. Yeah, I do. I do too. I got into that. I'm really into the stories behind it all. So that's why I mentioned Ascension Glossary. I've been reading that recently, just to get the just to get a perspective on what happened, you know. And that's fascinating enough because you can it's like a Wikipedia. So you just click on the next word or what's this, what's this, what's this. So it's literally, you'll get lost. It's a rabbit hole, and I love that kind of stuff. And yeah, aliens. And I love it all too. But it depends. Like if I try to watch it and I'm not feeling it, I'll shut it off. I'm like, this is too History Channel, whatever, or stuff like that. But yeah, all of it, like all of this stuff. Like I say, it's like it's all good for us. It's all tools, but I try not to get hung up on, that's why I'm always talking smack to both sides, hopefully equally, you know, which I feel like I have the right to because I'm a spiritual being too and a physical being. And don't send me here then obviously this is all part of our paths, my path, right? Like who knows, what's the saying? Even when it goes wrong, that might be exactly what was supposed to happen, or that is the path, right? What is the true path? Well, it's not written down in some book somewhere, and if it was, then it'd be way easy and we'd all just be out of here like that, but because we have so much atrophied, we gotta work at getting it back. You have to meditate, you have to do it. Yeah, you have to, otherwise it won't happen for you. And trust me, I know it because I need to meditate way more than I do. I mean, I could, I don't, but again, the more I do it, the better it is. And dreams, oh my God, dream time. I don't even need it. My dreams are crazy nowadays. I'm always aware in my dreams. I'm always doing something. It's pretty cool. And that's what's going to happen. We're all getting fueled back up and everything. So, okay, guys, I got to go. I got company. I keep forgetting. I keep blabbing. I love doing this stuff. I'll be back next week for sure. Unless something happens, plans or whatever. But shout out to the Soul Tribe, Soul Family. Just got back from out of state about a week ago. So yeah, can't wait to see all you guys again next time. All right. Much love. Peace.